Hey everybody, my name is Andrea Kersey, and I'm here today to talk to you about the restaurant industry and pretty much all the excitement that it holds. Um, I have worked in a restaurant for roughly around 10 years. Um, Most people will call that being a veteran in the restaurant industry. 8 of those 10 years, I have been at the same restaurant, serving and bartending. It's very taxing, but it's also very wonderful. You meet a lot of interesting people, and you strengthen a lot of skills that you wouldn't really think of having. Um, I'm interested and curious to know what everyone else knows about the restaurant industry. What do you think happens in the day and in the evening at a restaurant? What would a shift be like for someone working there, regardless their position? So we're going to move into different employee positions. There are 2 different areas. We have front of house and back of house. I work in the front. You have bussers, you have hosts and hostess, servers that wait the tables, bartenders, and then your front of house managers. Basically, that is everybody that you're going to see when you come and eat at a restaurant. You will be interacting with people out in the front of the restaurant where the tables are, where people will be eating. The back of house, you have dishwashers, you have cooks, you have back of house managers. So basically they're prepping everything for the restaurant for people to eat and then also cooking the food. I fall into the category where I serve and bartend. Those fit right for me. It's very high-paced and in your face, which is exciting and intriguing to me. I feel like I'm always learning something new. Your shift duties would mainly be in the daytime to open the restaurant for business. You're going to set everything up, like your plates and your glassware and whatnot, and make sure that everything is set and ready for if it gets busy. You have the evening time shifts, which are drastically different. You basically close down the restaurant, so you're wiping everything down, you're wrapping everything, and you're taking everything to the cooler so it stays fresh. Between your shift duties and your positions, serving, obviously, you're waiting tables, you're running food, you're taking people's orders, you're consistently always doing something. Bartending is exactly the same, except you add on making guests cocktails, which is sufficiently harder if you're not the greatest at multitasking. It really does strengthen your time management and your multitasking skills working in a restaurant. It makes you think logically, to put things in a list, to put the most important thing at the top of your list and the least important at the end. And in the middle, just what can you get done in the in-between time? So I would really advise looking into it if you were looking into building some skills. There are time management skills. You learn team building or unity among other employees that you would be working with. Problem-solving skills is huge in a restaurant industry. A lot of times you don't have time to go get help because you're so busy. So you have to solve the problem right then and there, whether it be for yourself as a bartender, saying, maybe a guest is upset, or you're out of something, like a certain type of liquor, or a bunch of your glassware just broke, or your food came out wrong, anything like that. You have to just quickly be on the spot and be able to solve that problem. You don't want any type of weird interaction going on with a guest. You want to make sure that you solve that problem then and there. You learn multitasking skills, which is one of the bigger things for me. I had very poor multitasking skills. I wouldn't necessarily say that you learn how to multitask, because some people that work in the restaurant industry are not the best at it. But if you're willing to learn it, you do strengthen that area, because you need to take orders, run food, make drinks, talk to a manager, talk to 5 other tables all at the same time, and then bartending, make cocktails as well. It's very taxing. Self-control, you'll learn that as well. You don't have time to leave a guest. So if somebody is saying something to you that isn't very polite, that comes off very rude, you will very quickly learn to control yourself, control your emotions, because you don't want to show a guest that you're angry. The guest is always right. And then you learn patience. That goes hand in hand with self-control. A lot of times you learn to be patient with guests that are rude. Maybe they've had a poor experience before, so they've taken it out on you. There are some pros and also some cons of working in a restaurant. The pros would be flexible hours. So for me, I'm in school. It's the easiest thing to do. I pretty much just pick whenever I want to work. I don't have to work 9 to 5, but you certainly could if you wanted to. You would make a little bit better money working towards the evening hours, because most people go out at night to eat. You build close relationships with people in the restaurant industry. Not to say that you don't in other jobs, but I would say that when you work in a restaurant, it's like a small family. When it gets busy and you're very behind, or you need things, it's very stressful. You become close. It's basically like going to war, or at least that's how it feels when it gets busy. So you build really close relationships with people. You don't have to work long hours to make very decent money. A lot of college students that I know work in the restaurant industry because of that. It's shortened hours, flexible, and you make very good money for the time you spend there. You also get discounts on food, which a lot of college kids really need. I definitely do. The cons, it's inconsistent relative to the restaurant that you're working at. You can work pretty much any hours you want, but like I said, it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's sporadic. You don't really get breaks. You're on your feet all day. You don't get time to yourself. You're going to be consistently surrounded by people and noise. So you would really have to get used to that if you're not a fan of it. People are rude. You learn patience and self-control because of that. You always have to work the holidays, which a lot of people are not a huge fan of, but it's very good money for the time that you do spend there. and you don't get paid hourly. So you don't get a paycheck. You mainly have cash at all times. I prefer that, but you will never get a paycheck. So would the restaurant industry be a good fit for you? I would say really look into it. Look into trying to build those skills that I talked about. It's very flexible and good money, and it is easy to do while you're in college, while you're busy doing many other things. Would you be invested in working long hours in a high-paced environment? I enjoy it. I like the high-paced, quickened restaurant feel. The restaurant industry is definitely not for everyone, but can be an outstanding place of energy with tons of wonderful people that you would meet. You meet very engaging people, intriguing people, and you are pushed to your limits all the time. You learn how to be dependent and confident in yourself because you're basically doing everything on your own, and you have a supervisor to help you if need be, but it helps you learn to be more self-confident in your work. If it sounds like a good fit for you, I would definitely research looking into some restaurants in your local area. Restaurants are always hiring. If you call them or email them, they'll definitely give you information. I would look online and check out the menu and their cocktails to see if it's a good vibe of restaurant for yourself. Remember, it doesn't have to be a career, but it's a great way to learn new skills that you'll use for the rest of your life. Help yourself learn to be confident and become more dependent upon yourself.